Hello Year 2, it's Miss Buckley here, and I will be going through your RE lesson for today. So your learning question is, can I say some of the ways Muslims show how important God, and they call their God Allah, is? And your steps to success are, I can discuss my opinion on having rules. I know there are 5 rules Muslims must follow. I can recall the 5 rules, which are called the pillars of Islam. Now here's your thinking question, and if you have somebody in your house to talk to, this is also your discussion question. And I would like you to answer this question. Is it a good thing to have rules? Why, if you think yes, and why not if you think no? So pause the video here, have a think about that question, or talk about it with somebody who is close to you. Now let's recap our learning. Why is prayer important to Muslims? Last week we learnt that prayer is very important to Muslims as it makes them feel connected to God, and they call their God Allah. What else do we know about Muslim prayer? We know that Muslims are expected to pray 5 times a day. We know that Muslims use a prayer mat to pray. We know that Muslims pray as it makes them feel that they are having a conversation with Allah. Muslims pray for what they need, they pray for guidance, and they pray for comfort. Muslims can pray in a mosque or they can choose to pray at home. So those are all the things that we learnt last week. So this week we are learning all about the 5 pillars of Islam. The word pillars stand for the rules in which Muslims must follow. These rules are very important when following the religion Islam. The 5 pillars help Muslims to live a good and responsible life. It also brings them closer to Allah and their community. Now I'm going to say the names of the 5 pillars, and please forgive me if I say the names incorrectly. I'm going to try my very best all throughout this lesson to pronounce the names correctly, but if I say incorrectly, please forgive me, and when you see me in person you can tell me the correct names for them. So each pillar has a different name. The first pillar is called the Shahadah. The second pillar is called Salah. The third pillar is called Zakat. The fourth pillar is Sawm. And the 5th pillar is called Hajj. Let's look into what those pillars are all about. The Shahadah, which is pillar 1. This pillar is the main belief of all Muslims, and it is a declaration of their faith. Now, when Muslims say this declaration, they usually read it in Arabic, but I'm going to tell you the meaning of what they say in English. So the meaning of the words are, there is no God except Allah. Muhammad is the messenger of Allah. Muslims say this when they pray. The second pillar is called Salah. This pillar stands for prayer. As we know, Muslims pray 5 times a day, and they follow a special ritual to do so. The very first thing they must do is wash everything. They wash their hands, they wash their feet, they wash their face. They need to be very clean before they pray. All prayers are said at the same time every day. The first prayer is said in the morning between dawn and sunrise. The second prayer is said at midday or in the early afternoon. The third prayer is said late afternoon. The fourth prayer is said in the evening around sunset. And the last prayer is said at night before they go to bed. The third pillar, Zakat. This pillar is about looking after other people. Each Muslim gives up a share of his wealth each year to provide for those who are less fortunate. The word Zakat means to purify or cleanse. As a person gives away a share of their wealth, they become cleansed from selfishness and from greed. So this is all about giving to charity, okay? So within this pillar, Muslims have to make sure that they're very, very giving to those who are less fortunate than them. Pillar 4, Sawm. This pillar is all about Ramadan. The 9th month of the Islamic calendar is when Muhammad began receiving messages from God. For 30 days, Muslims fast. They do not eat or drink during daylight hours. They fast because they want to be reminded of how difficult it is to be poor, hungry, and thirsty. This helps them to remember that there are still people out there who are less fortunate than them. It reminds them to thank God for the gift of the Quran and for not being greedy. Now, the 5th pillar is called Hajj. All Muslims have a duty to make a pilgrimage to Mecca at least once in their life. Very often, whole families will save to send one person at a time. The reason Muslims go on the pilgrimage is to bring together the community and to strengthen it. Now, on the screen, I have included a video that explains all about the 5 pillars of Islam, and I would really like it if you could watch this video. If you go on our remote learning timetable, the link will be on there for you, and you can just click the link and it will take you directly to the video. If not, can you please go on YouTube and type in the 5 pillars of Islam and select the first video. You will see the picture that is on the screen now. Once you have finished watching the video, I would like you to make notes about the 5 pillars of Islam. So I would like you to write the names of the 5 pillars of Islam and write notes on what those 5 pillars are all about. Explain to me the reasoning behind those 5 pillars.